here with Joanna O'Connell from Forrester, and we were just talking about the previous panel we saw on what publishers are doing programmatic, and you noticed that everybody's being very cautious or careful or going, taking testing steps, being very deliberate. What do you think's behind that?
Well, what was interesting was that when I was listening, when I was listening to the publishers speak about it, when you would talk about programmatic, they were talking about all the things that they were doing until you said, and in video, and they said, oh, well, that's coming in 6 months or that's coming in 3 months, which was so interesting to me. And I think it's partly because they're being very, very cautious, and I think that that's probably really appropriate. I think the rise of the ad exchange space and display was a very scary thing for publishers. And so I think they're a lot more kind of intelligent and informed, and therefore more particular about the way that they are participating. But I would bet it's also just the fact that it's video, and that, as some of the folks have said, video sells out. There just isn't the kind of glut of inventory with video, good video, as there is with display. Right.
Well, it's an interesting point because somebody brought up the new fronts, and you have those guys, all the big video players in May talking about let's get the TV money, right? And they have the TV networks doing pretty well with their full episode players, right? So then this move towards programmatic video almost feels like in conflict with that. Are you going to get TV money if you start going this route? And does maybe the industry not want to go here? Well, the hilarious thing is that would that almost creates this conflation between programmatic and DR, or programmatic and remnant, or programmatic and leftover. And when I think about programmatic, it's funny. Someone said to me the other day, programmatic's becoming a bad word. I was like, geez, that's fast. Like, it just became a good word. Why can't it be a good word? Why does it have to be? Why does it have to be conflated with those things? So, well, it sounds like machines taking over, no people. It sounds ominous. Maybe. I mean, to me, there are these very different concepts, right? There's the exchange concept, which is very much about bidding on the spot market. There's RTB, which is the technical mechanism. Then there's a sort of broader term, programmatic, which is kind of the umbrella for more automated transactions. But what's so interesting is that I think it's just different kinds of people and different kinds of relationships and different kinds of discussions that are going to be taking place. And frankly, if you look at how TV is bought, I mean, from everything I've heard, they're so much more efficient than we are in digital in the way that they actually manage that buying and management process. So if we want those TV dollars, why on earth wouldn't we also want to be just, operationally more efficient? Right. I'm curious what you thought a couple weeks ago. There was a big story in the programmatic video world, AOL buying Adapt TV. What do you think of that deal? Yeah, I mean, I think it's really, really interesting and really cool, and I'm very eager to go to the AOL programmatic upfront next week. I mean, what the heck are they going to say? I hope it's more than just. They're just going to it's going to happen in front of us, right? I guess. I don't know. I mean, is it going to be real, or do they just stick the word programmatic in the title so people would show up? I mean, I don't know. Guess we'll find out. But it seems real in as much as they acquired Adapt TV. It's a really great combination of a sort of very significant content provider. AOL's always really been, of the sort of big portals, the content guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're a media company. That's right. They were a media company. They were a content company. And to make that investment in technology that will bring programmatic to that content, I think was a real stake in the ground. So I thought it was very cool. Yeah, I mean, they very much are speaking about they want to challenge Google on the stack thing, right? Do you think that's credible? That's realistic? Boy, I mean, Google. Don't get me started on Google. Kind of big. Yeah, I mean, Google. I got to tell you, you sort of want to hate Google, but at the same time, like, they're making so many smart decisions and putting together so many things that create the operational efficiency that I'm talking about. So on some level, we need competition for that. But it's also going to be tough, for an AOL, I think, to be playing in the same kind of stack way that a Google is. I would think it would be somebody totally different that would be competitive. Someone outside the industry. Yeah, possibly. I mean, maybe it's somebody like IBM, or certainly Adobe. You see companies like that that are buying up all the kinds of technologies that you need to do to run marketing programs. That, to me, is more interesting. On the Adapt deal, I did a story right after that, and Tim Armstrong almost murdered me after it because it was about how that exchange is rife with bogus inventory. Bots are huge. Right. So a third to 80% of it is not viewable and not real. Do you have a sense of how big that issue is in this industry? Boy, I'm sure that was a super fun call for you. Yeah. Yeah. I
I wish I had a more intelligent answer for you. I don't honestly know how big of a deal it is, but my expectation is that to the degree that there are bad players out there that are really, really good at gaming the system and making money, my expectation would be that that is existing in video as well. But I think the reality is with video, just in general, it's more attractive to brand marketers that understand sight, sound, motion. So they're sort of inherently, I think, less scared. Right. You know, maybe they should be more scared.
Right. I mean, how real do you have any? I've had people say to me, you know, we're in love with the long tail metaphor, but in video, it's really not there yet. Like, is the idea that video is all over the web and there's so many great places to buy it? Is that sort of imaginary right now?
I mean, it still feels to me like display is, you know, this, and video is this. It just is, right? So the conditions just feel so different to me in terms of the market dynamic of buying and selling. Fundamentally feels really different. And again, that doesn't mean that I don't think that programmatic is the future, because I totally do. But it's a matter of the buy side bringing intelligence and bringing brand dollars, and the sell side bringing great inventory and audience intelligence and price intelligence.
Do you think we're going to see a lot more acquisitions in this space?
Yes.
Who exactly and when?
I don't know.
All right.
I'm sorry. No, I mean, that's a good question. So, listen, one of the things that I'm really interested in is, and I'll be talking later with some folks, is about this idea of the sort of broader marketplace of buying across channels, you know, inside of a single platform, versus going to best-of-breed platforms that are separate from one another. So I tend to look at the world through the lens of the buy side. So I'm really interested when I see, for example, when I saw Videology take Lucid under its umbrella, you know, where you're starting to see display and video, or where you're starting to see video and TV. You know, those things feel like real natural kinds of progressions to me, where you take these point solutions and start to bring them together, because fundamentally it just feels like, you know, the targeting that you can do, the sequencing, the frequency management that you can do, it's all going to be better. It's going to be more effective.
On that note, last question.
Yeah.
Agency trading desks, long future, decentralized eventually, and everyone does it. What's?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I've been pretty vocal about what I think the future of the centralized trading desk is, and I say that coming from that world. I built the trading desk at Razorfish. I really believed in that model, you know, of having all these people come together, develop this expertise, and then, you know, bring it to the agency. I think that what you're starting to see is that there is some decentralization starting to happen, and I fundamentally really believe that, you know, all the people that are working inside the trading desks, they're the future. The smartest people in the room. They understand technology. They like math and science. They bring that intelligence to media buying and optimization and management and measurement. It's just more, I think, a question of where it's going to live ultimately. You know, so it might be that certain things stay centralized, maybe certain kinds of deal making, maybe certain kinds of technology decisions, high-level technology relationships, maybe media relationships, maybe operations even, some operational stuff, but that you start to see more of the kind of, you know, hands-on stuff happening inside the agencies.
All right, that was our speed round. Thanks, Joanna, for a great discussion.
My pleasure.